Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today with Stamping with Loretta. Today is Rolodex card a day number 32, or Rcad as they're commonly known as. To begin with, I stamped an image from Sherry Baldy onto shrink plastic. And here you see me coloring this image with several different markers. These are all Copic markers from my collection. And I think all in total I used 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 different colors on this image, which is unusual for me to do with shrink plastic because you can't really blend very much with shrink plastic just because of the nature of the product. But this particular shrink plastic is actually the Rough and Ready by Shrinky Dink brand name, and because it's rough on one side, you stamp on the select side and then turn it over to color it. It makes it a little bit easier to work with as far as shading is concerned, so you can add a few colors on top of each other. This is super sped up, about 8 times its normal speed, to really just kind of show you how I did this image. I also gave her a little bit of a yellow background. I was afraid that it was going to turn out way too dark actually, and so I went back over that here in a minute with a Copic blender pen, which is just actually more of a color remover than it is a actual blending tool. So that's just something to keep in mind. Then that image was cut out. I fussy cut that image to remind you all you need to move your material, not your paper so much when you're fussy cutting. This allows you to get the image trimmed where you want it to and not have any harsh edges to it. That is now being heat set, and I'm going to use just a regular acrylic block over the top of that just to make sure it's going to lay flat. Move that out of the side and prep my Rolodex card, which is cut from medium weight chipboard. I just used some paint from the Master's Touch. It is acrylic paint and it's called Yellow Medium. I also dry brushed over the top of that and cleaned up my desk a little bit. I'm using some Distress paint. This is white picket fence, and somehow the dauber got messed up on it, so I just took the dauber off completely and just used it as it was. So after I applied those rings, I am now going to mix some stucco with some red paint so that I can use a stencil. And I actually work with this for just a couple of minutes there to get the color and the consistency the way I wanted. It's a really fun product to work with. And this stencil is from the Stencil Scroll collection. At first I thought it might look like a house on one side in my original idea, and it did kind of turn out the way I wanted it to. I really had a fun working with it, and I used a little bit of that picket fence over the top of the bricks, using a baby wipe just to kind of tone it down a little bit there. It was really a lot of fun. Now I'm using some dollar stamps or $1.50 stamps to add some texture to my background. I'm also using a grass green acrylic paint from also the Master's Touch. It's called Light Green, to edge my card and just kind of get everything centered and draw your attention to the image which you're about to see me lay down. I used a stamp set from Stephanie Bernard's company, the Stamps of Life, and it's called You're So Tweet, T-W-E-E-T, and I die cut the branch and after I had stamped it, and I used 2 different colors of stamps, I should say of inks, to do that with. I'm using Bloom Where You Are Planted. It is a stamp from my craft spot, and I cut that out also with a die from the same company. It's called Tiny Tags 2, and I just put some baker's twine through that to attach it to the front of my card, and a couple of dimensional dots. Those are from Judy Morrow. The image is then attached to the tree, as you saw, using E6000 glue, which is a great adhesive when you're working on something like this because the texture is rough and that image, once it's dry, isn't going to go anywhere. I'm putting some last touches on my card by using a marker and some more paint just to ground the image towards the bottom. We're going to transition here in just a second to the finishing touches where I write the Rcad number, which is 32. Today's date's June 6, 2014. Tomorrow I have a Copic class, so I'll be letting you guys know about that when I get home. I'm looking forward to it. It's always a really good time. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this Rolodex card today. I hope you will give art cards in general a try, and that you will have a great weekend. Remember, stamp happy, be a blessing to someone today, and I hope you all have fun. Here's the finished project. So I hope that you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Email me if you have any questions. Take care, everyone. I will talk to you all soon. Bye now.